A new twist in the legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. A judge essentially gutted the bulk of her most serious claims against her Ends With Us co-star.
Joining us now to explain the judge's decision is attorney Rachel Fiset. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning.
Rachel, can you explain which claims were dismissed and why? I know it was, I believe, 10 out of 13.
Yeah.
So most of her sexual harassment claims were dismissed, and her defamation claims, there was a conspiracy claim, all of those were dismissed against Justin Baldoni. And much of it hinged on the fact that she is an independent contractor and not an employee of the production company on the set. So a lot of those claims really only apply to traditional employees, not independent contractors, which is a different status. And then the judge made some really interesting remarks that really only apply to actors and actresses and people in the creative arts, saying there is some liberty to be taken as it relates to the treatment on the set.
This case is so interesting. So what protections do independent contractors have, though, when it comes to sexual harassment? Because there's got to be some there.
There are. They're just not under a federal statute or the Civil Rights Act. And so they were not found here. There's still harassment claims. There's still retaliation claims, which the harassment claim doesn't survive, but her retaliation claim does survive, that she was reporting and that the company acted against her for reporting. So you're not without any protections as an independent contractor, but there are fewer.
You just touched on it. The case now focuses mostly on Lively's claims that Baldoni orchestrated a campaign to tarnish her reputation. So did the judge weigh in on that at all?
Well, those claims are surviving. There's 3 claims surviving. One is a breach of contract relating to her contract. One is a retaliation claim, and one is aiding and abetting retaliation. So yes, the judge, the judge weighed in. Those claims survive. So 3 of the 13 are surviving. Again, those are against the company, and the actions are in conjunction with Baldoni, but Baldoni is not a defendant to those claims.
So what evidence does Lively's legal team actually have here, and what do they need to do to prove their claims? Because we've seen so many things that get thrown out for us to see through TMZ and all that. So what do they actually have?
It's really as it relates to when she made the complaints, when she raised these issues, and how they treated her after, what went on in the public after. Baldoni allegedly engaged in a smear campaign basically to head off what she was about to say as it related to the harassment. So those are the types of evidence that she will use at trial if this continues to trial. Now, her case was just gutted, so there is a chance that settlement talks would be more likely to be underway at this point, but it will relate to the smear campaign against her, although it will not be a defamation claim that was thrown out, but retaliation. Did acts happen because she reported harassment?
So some legal analysts say we may not actually see this case make it to trial. What do you think here?
I think this is about the time a lot of people would settle this case. It depends on how the legal teams are communicating with one another. Her claims are less valuable at this point because there are many less of them, and they are different types of claim. They are less punitive in nature. So if I'm guessing, it seems like it's likely this does settle.
As always, thank you for joining us, Rachel Fiset, for your legal analysis. We appreciate it.
Thank you.